So I'm out here in the Sulphur Springs area of Tampa, and I made a video a while back with a different camera, and so now I have a much better camera, and so I just wanted to redo. Right here is the Hillsborough River. We're near Lowry Park Zoo, or actually Zoo Tampa at Lowry Park, I think is what they call it now. So right along the river here on both sides, there are a lot of nice homes. But a few blocks away from the river, then the houses are more just basic and more of a working class kind of neighborhood. And as you get up closer to Waters Avenue, it becomes even more of like lower income. It trends that way, at least. Right here, what we just went over is Purity Springs, and there's a little stream that goes on out to the Hillsborough River there. Purity Springs is a small spring, and it used to have a business there, actual bottling company, kind of like Zephyr Hills. But that was way back, I think, in the 1940s, probably. Right now, it's a city park over there at Purity Springs, and as I mentioned on the last video, springs are a really cool thing that is all over the Central Florida area, and it's a real special. So hopefully they can clean that one up even more, make it more attractive for just families and others to come out and enjoy. Over here to the right is the Sulphur Springs Tower Park, and a long time ago there was a mayor that was going to, or thought about turning it into a botanical garden, and it's right along the river. I think that is a great idea. So maybe one day that can happen. But right now it's just kind of sitting there, waiting for some kind of activity. Going under I-275 here. And it looks like traffic is pretty heavy. It's March 15th, and this weekend before St. Patrick's Day, Tampa does have a St. Patrick's Day festival called River O' Green, and maybe that's part of the reason there's so much traffic. So off to the right is Sulphur Springs, the actual spring, which also used to be somewhat of an attraction back in the early 1900s. And I can't remember if it was a fire or a flood that basically destroyed the development that was there. It was like a swimming hole, and there were slides and things like that, and also I think like a hotel and maybe a casino perhaps, and but yeah, that was destroyed, and the person who owned all of it couldn't rebuild, is my understanding. But right over here is the Springs Theater, and so this area way back then used to be a nice place, and lots of people here. It was kind of an attraction area, a fun spot, if you will. And the Tampa streetcar came all the way up here. There used to be a bridge right across here, across the river. The river's pretty narrow at this point. Yeah, this was kind of the outskirts of Tampa at that time in the early 1900s. To the right you have a county park along the river. So as far as the housing, it's pretty mixed here. Couple new homes dotted about, and several older homes. Something interesting about this area is there's a lot of references with the street names. There's a lot of references to Alaska. Like you have Brooks, you have Klondike back there, you have Yukon, Sitka, Skagway, Juneau. Those are all places in Alaska, and I haven't figured out why that is. It's very odd to me, especially in a warm climate place like this. So I don't know. Here we're turning on Mulberry. This is a road that I turned on last time. So, you know, some of the properties are very distressed, and a couple empty lots, and then there's a couple new homes that have been built. So it's hard to say if this area is on the upswing or just kind of holding steady. I think it's holding steady at this point. I mean, it is a really cool spot. I mean, all these trees right along the river. I have heard back at the Sulphur Springs Tower area that there are several proposals. There's some, you know, development possibilities, and if that happens, you know, it might eventually bleed over into this area. So here's a city park along the river. Not much happening there, and I'm not really sure why the city doesn't come in and program the park. Oh wow. Yeah, to the right there was something that looked very run down. And unfortunately, when you have rundown properties, it just can kind of bring the whole neighborhood down. That's unfortunate. I mean, a lot of the people that live around here don't have much money, as I'm just guessing, to try to, you know, clean up. Some people are able to keep it clean, but yeah, I'm not sure what the answer is. Whether it's more code enforcement, of course that would probably be a hardship to the people that live here. But you know, then again, it just brings the whole neighborhood down. It makes it hard for the people that want to keep property up, upgraded and such. You know, if the neighbors are all not doing anything. There's another piece of property here to the right that looks like it's prime for some kind of development or upgrade. So here we're going under some railroad tracks at Rowlett Park Drive. I know last time I turned right and I went over the river and over to the south side, kind of into the Seminole Heights area. But this time I'm going to kind of stay in the Sulphur Springs. I'm going to go back to the left and back toward Nebraska and just kind of look at Sulphur Springs a bit more. It is one of the impoverished neighborhoods overall in Tampa. And it's big question on how do you turn that around without putting a big hardship on the people who live there. I'm sure that a lot of them would like everything to be nicer, but the tax base is not high enough to fund a lot of these projects. But it would be great if they would come in here, put in curbs, sidewalks, streetscaping, trees, nice trees, and things like that. It seems to me that since there are a lot of rental properties here, that the landlords should be required to maintain some basic requirements of upkeep. And I don't know, I suppose they would possibly raise the rent, but I'm just not sure what the answer is. But just driving around, checking it out. Go ahead and make a left here on Juno. So to the right, there's some multi-tenant housing. To the left, there's a house that looks like it was built in the past 15 years. And then you have a lot with a bunch of garbage in it. I do think the city should come through here and pick up all this trash, garbage. Quite a variety. Well, that's an interesting home there. So yeah, big question. How do you make an area like this better? How do you clean up an area like this? Some of these homes are falling apart. I mean, where I live, I've been reported 3 times total to code enforcement. I live in the county. That was many years ago. It was just little things. One of them was the grass was overgrown. And, driving around here, I see way more egregious code violations just all over the place. I mean, you got furniture just sitting out here. I just don't know. I mean, I know the residents. I mean, I just imagine the residents don't like it either. The majority of the ones who live here. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. But anyway, yeah, just driving around, checking it out. But I do know that when you have areas where there's lots and lots of rental residents, people just renting, the stake in the neighborhood is not quite as high. For some of them, not all of them, but some of them, it's like they're just passing through, or they don't own it, so it's just a different kind of feel about it. I mean, yeah, I used to rent, and the upkeep was not my responsibility to the apartment. I would try to do what I could, but yeah, to me, a lot of this falls on the landlords. Landlords have to be held accountable. And maybe I'm not thinking about all the factors involved, but just driving around, I mean, lots of things that need, just very base level things that need to be done to fix this up. I'm not talking make this area look like Hyde Park, but there's just so much stuff, like right here, furniture. I just don't know, it just seems pretty basic. Then you have some new homes in the mix here too. I mean, newer homes in the mix. It's kind of out of the blue. It'll be like a newer home built within the past 15, 20 years or 10 years. Like right over here to the left. A couple new homes there. I mean, that definitely helps. I'm just seeing these Alaska place signs, like Brooks Range in Alaska. I'm on Yukon. I still think that's just funny. That is funny. Elementary school, I think, or middle school, turning on Seward, which is also in Alaska. This is Sulphur Springs / Alaska neighborhood. I mean, here, Alaska Street. There you go. And you have a new home right here. Looks like a very nice one. So here we're a block from Nebraska, off to the right. And Nebraska is pretty well known for being grungy, if you will. Pretty well known for that. I guess at some point Nebraska was just a regular kind of shopping street. I mean, there are a lot of businesses along it, especially furniture businesses. So yeah, we're heading south. We're north of the Hillsborough River, and things do change as you go south of the Hillsborough River. It becomes part of the Seminole Heights neighborhood. And there's a lot more investment in the Seminole Heights area. But yeah, this area here, Sulphur Springs, definitely an area of opportunity. Lots and lots of opportunity. So hopefully they can do it in a way that is balanced and doesn't push out current residents. I'm sure there'll be some shifting around of residents, especially, specifically the ones who are renting. But the ones who own property in Sulphur Springs would probably be happy with new developments and things of that nature, because their property value is just going to skyrocket. But people who are renting, on the other hand, it's going to be a different story for them. But I guess a place like Sulphur Springs is you want to encourage more ownership in those places. You want to encourage the ratio of renters versus owners, to be a lot more balanced, and as many owners as you can possibly get into the neighborhood. So, all right, well, that was Sulphur Springs, and we are moving into the Seminole Heights area here next. We're here at Sly. We have new apartment buildings going up here on the left, so yeah, definitely investment is happening in this area, especially south of Sly. So, very, very interesting. All right, well, have a great day.